Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the new free webinar by Tecnografica. I am Chiara Medici, Digital Marketing Manager here at Tecnografica, and as usual, I'll give you a brief introduction to what we are going to do today. As many of you already know, since 1992, Tecnografica has been working in the field of design for the ceramic tile industry. Then, starting from 2014, Tecnografica draws from its experience to design and produce also wallpapers and decorative panels. During these years, the direct relationship with customers and partners led us to identify some doubts and specific technical requests that tend to be asked more often than others, than other questions. So today's webinar was conceived precisely to answer those frequently asked questions, and therefore this webinar is dedicated both to those people who already know Tecnografica and would like to further deepen their knowledge, but also it is dedicated to those people who don't know Tecnografica's products yet and would like to receive more technical, precise information. As you can see, I'm not on my own today. Hi Silvia, hi Pietro.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Silvia Ibatici and Pietro Puddu are here today with me to explain all the technical details about wallpaper and decorative panels finishes. In particular, Silvia is our customer service manager, and Pietro is our materials engineer and referent for the research and development department. Now, before leaving the word to Silvia and Pietro, just let me give you some technical things about the GoToWebinar platform. First, there will be a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. So if you have any questions, please write them down in the chat section that you can find in your dashboard. Second, in the same chat section, you should have received a welcome message containing our email address, wallcoverings@tecnografica.net. You can keep it and use it whenever you want if you would like to contact us. Third, always in your dashboard, you should have another section called Documents. There you can find two PDF files. They are the wallpaper and decorative panels technical features. You can directly download them now. Last but not least, this webinar is being recorded, and you will receive tomorrow the complete video by email so that you can watch it again or share it if you want to. Okay, I think that's all for now, so I leave you the word, Silvia.
Thank you, Chiara, for your introduction. So first of all, I want to say hello to all our customers and welcome to all of you that are new to Tecnografica. So I'm sharing our website, as you can see here, which is the best reference point for all Tecnografica catalogs and also for all our new collections. As you know, we release new collections every week, so please always refer to our website. So today the aim is to answer the most frequent questions that we get from our customers. So we try to gather them, and we will see point by point, trying to answer all these questions. First of all, I would like to make an overview about our products using the website. Just to give you an overview of all our products that we have in range. As you can see, this is our website, and here you have the two catalogs, one for wallpapers and decorative panels. But today we will go in detail about all our finishes. So as you can see in the finishes section, you find wallpapers and decorative panels. So let's start from wallpapers to see which are the finishes that we have available. So the first one is very technical. It's soundproof. So this is a support which is sound absorbing. So this means that it's not completely sound insulating, but it helps a lot in improving the acoustic comfort of a room, giving also a good decoration value with our designs. Then the best sellers, so our vinyl wallpapers. These are non-woven support with the vinyl coating. And for these vinyl wallpapers, we have 3 finishes available. So the first one is fabric with a canva effect. Then TNT, this has a stucco cement-based effect. Then last one is skin, which is completely smooth with a beautiful soft touch effect. Vinyl wallpapers are our best sellers, of course, because they are very resistant, they can be washed, and they have a good fire rating, so good burning behavior. So these can be used also in commercial projects. Then natural wallpaper, this is our ecological support. So it is cellulose fiber based, 0 emissions certified. So also this one is very resistant. It gives very bright colors since the background is very white, and it is also good for residential projects. Last one, also this one is very useful, H2O support. This one is made of glass fiber, and thanks to all the installation materials that we use, it is completely waterproof. So you can use it in shower areas, backsplash areas, very, very useful. Okay, let's go back to finishes. And also let's have a look at decorative panels. So for decorative panels, here also we have many different supports available. The first one, which is very, very versatile, is Smart Panel. Smart Panel has a front surface of top quality polycarbonate, and in the back we have glass fiber again. So thanks to these 2 materials, this panel is very thin, it is very light also, it is waterproof of course, but very important, it is flexible. Flexibility is very important because you can use it also on curved walls to cover, for example, counters, bars, receptions, desks, and so on. So it's very versatile. And also from a logistic point of view, it's very important because we can ship it rolled up in a very small box. We have a glossy version here, then also a matte version with a satin finish. Depending on the design, you can match the best one. Then another version of Smart Panel, double face. This is a double-sided panel, so it is printed on both sides in case you need to make partitions, for example, in an open space. So it's a very specific product. Then last 2 panels are our backlit. So here not only design but also decoration of lights. We have Dècora LED and Dècora Lux. With Dècora Lux, we give you only the panels. So this is very good for the customers who have the expertise to realize also the light box. Later we will go into detail. Otherwise, if you need a turnkey product, Dècora LED is the best one because you will get it ready to go, ready to be installed, fixed on the wall, and then connected to a power supply. Okay, these are all our panels. I wanted to show you also the technical sheets. These are technical sheets that can be downloaded from the download area. I want to show you because it's very important. So in the download area, once you are registered and logged in, you can enter this area, and here you can download many important documents, such as catalog, technical sheets, old catalogs. I remember you that also all the designs are always available. Then the same for decorative panels, company profile, and information about promotional material. So as I told you, you can download the technical sheets, the technical feature features from the download area. And here you will find translated in all the languages many interesting informations. Here, for example, for all the finishes, you find the weight, the width of the roll, and then fire class certification, which is very important. So I suggest you to have a look in detail to this document. The same is valid for panels. So again, here we have the technical sheets for all our panels. Of course, decorative panels are more technical, so here you will find many important informations. Okay. Now let's have a look in detail to our presentation. So together with Pietro, we gathered in this document all the most frequent questions that we get from you, from our customers, each time they ask us to analyze a specific project and to give our customer support and so to get altogether the best solution. So we will start with wallpapers, then we will go to talk about also decorative panels. So first question, do you apply the adhesive only on the wall or also on the back side of the wallpaper? It depends on the support we are considering. So for example, for natural, we suggest to apply the adhesive both on the wall and on the wallpaper, because the glue makes the wallpaper more softer, and so this is helpful also for the installation. For vinyl wallpapers, on the other hand, so for example, fabric, TNT, and skin, only on the wall the first coat, and then you can apply a second coat always on the wall after 15 minutes more or less, as you will go on in applying all the subsequent rows. For H2O, only on the wall. For H2O, we have a specific glue, which is a paste glue. So you will apply it not with a brush, but with a spatula. Okay, next question is, what do you have to consider when choosing a wallpaper? So how you can choose the best support? So it depends on two factors. So the first one is functional, so functional criteria. You have to ask yourself, where are you going to install it? So for example, if you have a humid, it means wet area like shower, backsplash of the kitchen and so on, maybe it's better to choose H2O, which is waterproof. On the other hand, if you have a high traffic area with a lot of noise, you want to improve the acoustic comfort, maybe in that case you can choose Soundproof. For all other conditions, you can choose vinyl wallpapers that are different only from an aesthetic point of view. So there is also the aesthetic criteria. This means that you can choose the best finish that is best matching with the design. For example, if I have a cement-inspired background design, maybe TNT would be a good idea. Otherwise, the flower beautiful design, maybe fabric. Or if you have watercolors, very geometric, maybe also skin could get a good result. Then a question about soundproof. So does soundproof wallpaper grant a perfect acoustic insulation? So our acoustic support is very good performing at high frequencies. This means frequencies between 800 and 1600 Hertz. So that is the range where our support is best performing. Of course, this wallpaper improves the acoustic comfort, so it is not completely sound insulating. It is not comparable with, for example, materials that you use in a recording studio or an anechoic room, for example. So in that case, maybe you could choose something more specific. Then next question, does the protective that makes H2O fiberglass wallpaper waterproof wear out? Should it be reapplied? Are there any indications of duration time? So we are talking about H2O that has a final protective coating. So this protective coating wears out with frequent use and frequent cleaning, of course, but it is possible to reapply it periodically. So no problems when you see that there are areas missing this final coating, you can reapply it. Another question about H2O wallpaper. So is H2O wallpaper with its installation system suitable for steam room and sauna? No. No, because polymers that compose glue and also the protective coating, but also the inks, with high temperature and high humidity could yellow, so they are subject to aging, so we do not suggest to put it in these very stressing conditions. Then, can wallpapers be removed and then used again on another wall? Here also it depends on the support you choose. For example, natural and all the vinyl wallpapers, fabric, TNT and skin, can be removed very easily from the wall and they leave little residue, so this is very important. However, reuse of wallpapers is not recommended if you want to maintain a very top quality standard, because as you remove the wallpaper, the TNT, the non-woven background could be deformed. So if you reapply it, the quality, the final result could be not so good. Then if you remove H2O wallpaper, you could also have to slightly restore the wall, because the glue, the adhesive is very strong, so it could take off material from the wall. Then this is a very important question about installation. Which are the best conditions to install a wallpaper? So to have an optimal laying, we suggest you to follow these rules. First of all, protected environment. So before and at least 2 days after the installation, we suggest you to have a minimum temperature of at least 15 Celsius degrees. So with a protected environment, windows and doors closed. No humidity issues, very important. If you have humidity issues on the wall, please fix them before. Then homogeneous color of the wall, even better if white. This is because we could have a slight transparency of the wallpaper. So if you have an homogeneous color, and especially if white, you won't have any transparent strange effect. Then very important also, smooth surface with fine-grained skin coat. This is especially true for skin wallpaper, for example, which is very regular, while for fabric and TNT that are textured, if you have some little irregularities, these could be hidden, but a smooth surface is very important. Then once you install the wallpaper, wall should be free from encumbrances. So this is very helpful also to give an easy installation. So if you have furniture, bathroom fixtures, or skirting birds on the wall, on the floor, it's better to remove them before installing. Then, how do you prepare the substrate for installation of a wallpaper? So this really depends on the condition of the wall. So let's see all the different cases. In case of a wall with smooth surface, no problems. You can start by applying a primer, especially if the wall has been painted long time before. So it helps adhesion and grip of the wallpaper. Then if you have a raw plaster or a wall that is to be restored before, you can start by applying a primer that keep the material coherent and keeps also the dust, any possible dust. Then you can apply a fine-grained skim coat to make the surface completely smooth. Then once it has dried, you can apply the glue and the wallpaper. We have some other cases. In case of a wall with ceramic tiles, it's possible to apply the wallpaper before you have to apply cement skim coat to cover joints and to make the surface smooth. In case of a dry wall, you can start by grouting the joints and the imperfections so that the surface is smooth. Then you can paint with an homogeneous color or skim coat and painting. So as you can see here, we see many images of some products that we usually suggest to our customers, but of course they can be replaced by commercial products that you can find in your specific country. You can also always ask us if you need some suggestions. Then, next question, can we install wallpaper on or near a radiator, stove or fireplace? So, our wallpapers can be installed behind the radiator or fan coil, no problems, while it is not recommended on direct heat sources. This is not only for the wallpaper, but also this is due to the glues, because we usually use water-based glues that could age and change the performance with temperature variations. So you could get bubbles, they can lose adhesion. So we do not recommend on heat sources. Then a question very important about maintenance. How do you clean wallpapers? So you can remove dust with a vacuum cleaner, with soft brush, with a duster or anti-static cloth. No problems. The important thing is not to use an abrasive sponge. And if you brush it, please always brush in the direction of rose joints. So that you do not risk to damage the wallpaper. You can also wash our wallpapers with water, neutral detergents, and soft cloth. So it's very important that you do not soak, you do not dampen too much with water the wallpaper, and you immediately dry it with a dry cloth, for example, after washing. Okay, I think that we are done with wallpapers. Let's have a look at some frequent questions about decorative panels. So in this area here on the left of the presentation, you will find in black the logo of the panel we are talking about. So this is just to help you in the comprehension. So first question, do you have to keep space for joints when using smart panels? So here we are focusing on smart panel. Yes, we always recommend to keep at least 2 millimeters joints between the panels and at least 3 millimeters for side walls. This is because we have to compensate thermal expansion. That is always possible. Furthermore, joints could be also used as decorative elements. Why not? So in case we have different phases of precious stones, this would be used as a separation between them. In any case, you can always use a colored stucco, a colored joint material to improve the final result and to let them be less visible. Is there an easy way to apply Smart Panel on curved wall or on the ceiling? So Smart Panel, as I told you before, is flexible and it is very light. So it is very good to be applied on curved walls or on ceiling. So it's possible to install it, and in these specific cases, we give you an installation method with Velcro, which helps in keeping and avoiding the spring back of the panel in case of a curved wall, or it helps to support the weight in case we want to put it on the ceiling. The total thickness of this specific installation is 6 millimeters, and it is very helpful to have a good result in these specific conditions. Then, next question, how much adhesive do you use to install Smart Panel? It depends on the conditions of the wall in the back. So, for example, if you have a classic wall that could be slightly irregular, you could need from 2 up to 5.5 kilograms per square meter, because in some areas the adhesive will compensate the difference, the irregularity of the wall. Otherwise, if you have a perfectly plain surface, so for example, composite, metal, wood, or plywood panels, you could use even less than 1 kilograms per square meter. So very few glue. The adhesive we usually suggest is Lithoelastic Evo by Lithopol. That is a very versatile adhesive. It can be used to glue the panel on wall, polymers, ceramic, metal, wood, MDF. So it's a very versatile adhesive. I take the chance here to tell you that on our YouTube channel, but also in the video section of our website, you will find many tutorials, so technical videos that are very helpful to understand step by step how we recommend to install our products. Next question, do you need special arrangements for the installation of the Smart Panel? So here also we suggest regular temperature around 12 Celsius degrees. So the interior must be closed. Walls, of course, must be plain and regular as much as possible. Otherwise, we can tolerate irregularities between more or less of 3 millimeters that can be compensated with the adhesive. Then also the surface must be cohesive and not lose material residues, very important. You can also install it on ceramic tiles. This is also because the Smart Panel is very thin, only 2.5 millimeters thick. So it is very useful also to make renovations. Another important question, how can we cut Smart Panel and can we cut it on site? So of course, if you send us specific dimensions, technical drawings, we can cut everything here in the factory. We have the best tools, of course, for approaching these materials. But the Smart Panel is also very easy to cut on site. So you can cut it with a blade for wood or polymers if you have a small cut and cuts that are not visible, for example. If you need to do a longer cut and also straight cuts, we suggest to use a diamond blade for circular saw. Next question, do you have to keep space for joints for panels? So before we saw how we have to keep joints for Smart Panel, here we have all the other supports, so double face, Dècora, LED, and Lux. Let's see in detail. So for Smart Panel, double face, and Dècora Lux, here we need special appropriate bearing structures that must be designed on site. So of course these structures have to enable a little expansion of the panels, so a little dilatation of the materials. For Dècora LED, no, you do not need any joint because they are installed with metal bars that we provide you with. So panels can, let's say, slide on these metal anchoring bars. Then, which panels of Tecnografica can be applied on the ceiling? So on the ceiling, again, the main issue is weight. So we saw before that with Dècora LED, with the Smart Panel, no problems, because again, it's a very light panel. For Dècora Lux, you have to design an appropriate bearing structure before. With Dècora LED, you have to deal with the weight of this panel. This panel is quite heavy, 32 kilograms per square meter. So you have to design the best system, and also the ceiling has to stand the weight. So in this case, I suggest you to ask us, and me together with Pietro, we will evaluate the best solution. Then, can we install our products on or near a radiator, stove, or fireplace? This is a very frequent question because our panels are very, our designs are very luxury style, so they are beautiful, for example, to cover a fireplace. In this case, you have to evaluate the specific case, because sometimes there are stoves and fireplaces that feature very low external temperatures. So why not? We could apply on also our panels, but I suggest you to check the technical sheet of the stove and fireplace. Let's say that we have to keep in mind the maximum temperatures of our panels. So Smart Panel, we have 55 Celsius degrees, while for Dècora Lux and Dècora LED, maximum 50 Celsius degrees. With Dècora LED, another important point about temperature is also about LED lights, because you know that LED lights have a very long lifetime, but with high temperature, the lifetime of LEDs would be shorter. So we have to keep in mind also the electric part. Then, can you use decorative panels as backsplash behind a kitchen area? Our products are composed of polymers that are in class 1 or 2 for fire resistance, so it's okay. We suggest only to keep 30 centimeters distance from heat source in the kitchen, especially if it is a gas stove. If it is an electric stove, the temperature is less, so it's inferior, so it's okay. Here again, we have to keep into account temperature range limits mentioned in the technical sheets. An interesting question about shape of our panels. Which shapes can we realize and which are the maximum dimensions? So it's not difficult for us realizing different shapes, so circles, arches, no problems. You can send us the technical drawing of your request. The only limit is the maximum side of one single slab. So for example, for Smart Panel, the maximum size of one single slab is 150 meters by 3 meters. So if you have a diameter up to 150 meters, it's okay, no problems. How can we define scratch resistance? of our panels. So this scratch resistance is a very good point. Of course, engineering polymers are more sensitive to scratching in comparison with ceramics, glass, or other cladding materials. But of course, our panels have the strength point that they are very light and they are flexible. So we have to find a compromise. In any case, on the technical data sheets, you will find a classification using the pencil hardness resistance scale, which can be easily checked at home. However, we will see that in many cases we can fix also scratches with a polishing procedure. Okay, here we have. Which products do you suggest to remove possible scratches? So it is true that we suggest our panels for vertical decoration, so not for top covering, because they could be more subject to scratches, but you can fix scratches very easily. On the maintenance manual, we have also a description of the whole procedure. You can fix small scratches with an abrasive paste, which is very easy to find in the market. If you have deeper scratches, you will need abrasive professional products and appropriate tools. So especially for glossy finishes, you will easily remove scratches. Then, which are the most appropriate tools to clean decorative panels? So here again about maintenance. We recommend to use neutral detergents, diluted with water, of course, and a clean and non-abrasive cloth, no problems. Also, to remove lime scale, which is a good problem in a shower area, for example, you can use any commercial lime scale cleaners, no problems. The only recommendation is to avoid chemical solvents like acetone, for example, because the panel could get matte. Okay. Can Dècora looks be cut on site? So we told before that you can easily cut on site Smart Panel, while for Dècora looks it is more difficult because the final top layer is made of resin and resin could chip. So we recommend to let us design all parts to be cut. If you have a niche, if you have to drill the panel, it's better if we do it here because we have the right tools. Otherwise, if this is not possible, you can do it with cutting blades and abrasive disc, non-toothed cutting blades, because this will help not to chip the resin. Okay. What about Dècora LED? Can it be cut on site? No, because behind the Dècora LED, you will have also the functional electrical parts that are hidden. So if you try to cut it or to drill it, you could risk to damage the panel and its functionality. So please ask us about every part to be cut. Then for Dècora LED, can you supply controllers that are integrated with home automation of the client? So here we have the light control issue. You know that you can regulate the color, you can regulate the dimming, the temperature of the color. We need a controller for this panel. We can offer 3 solutions. So the first one, no integration. You will simply get a control, a remote control, or a switch on the wall, or you can also control the panel through an app on your mobile device. Otherwise, second possibility is to integrate the panel with systems that can communicate with Alexa or Google Home, for example. The last and more complex possibility is an integration with some specific standard signals that you can find listed here. Again, my suggestion is to ask me and Pietro, the technical department, about the best solution for your project. Then a question very important about Dècora Lux. As I told you before, with Dècora Lux you will get only the panels, so no light box. Which arrangements you need for the installation of Dècora Lux? Very important, you have to keep a minimal distance from light source. Usually we suggest to keep a distance of 7 centimeters between lights and panel to get a completely homogeneous lighting. Then the bearing structure must frame the panel, so to keep the panel in position. Then we suggest also to use triangle spacers that we supply. Here we have a picture. These spacer keep the panel in the right position in case of thermal dilatations or movements. Then, do you need special arrangements for the installation of Dècora LED? You know that this panel is quite thick, so 2.3 centimeters thick, so it is also rigid, and the wall must be able to stand the weight, and it must be regular and plain. Okay, then last question, can you supply products that are certified for naval sector use? At the moment, we do not have any panel that is IMO certified. As you know, the naval sector could be very interested in our designs that are beautiful on luxury ships or boats. So this is a good market for us. So at the moment, we do not have any panel, but I can tell you that we are in the process of developing new products. So Pietro and our research and development department is working to develop a new panel which has a better resistance to fire, which is very important for naval sector, and which will have a much better scratch resistance. So stay tuned, because very soon we will tell you something more about this new panel. In the meantime, if you need IMO certified wall coverings, we can offer you some wallpapers. Okay, I think that I have addressed all the most frequent questions that we collected from our experience. So now if Chiara or Pietro want to make some questions that we received during the webinar.
Yes, thank you, Silvia, for all the useful explanations. Yes, we have some questions from our participants. We can start with the first one. It is from Harley. The question is, for a smart panel, how do you meet corners of the walls? For example, a niche in the shower area.
So sorry, because the connection is quite bad. Sorry, could you repeat, Chiara?
Yes, of course. With reference to smart panel, how do you meet corners of the walls? For example, a niche in the shower area.
Okay, so Pietro, here we have addressed this question many times, so if you want, I can reply directly in English. So this panel is very thin, so you can easily make edges in this case, and with the stucco you can fill in the joints to make a complete regular edge without using a profile. So this is the first question. Then if you have to cover the top of the shelf niche, for example, the main problem could be scratch resistance, but I think that in a shower you could do it. For waterproofness, no problems for the smart panel. I see that Pietro agrees, so.
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Harley again asked, what if you want to end a panel in the middle of the wall? So the panels do not cover the entire wall, but you end them in the middle. How do you finish the edge?
Okay, so here also, I don't know, Pietro, can I answer?
Yes, please.
Okay, then maybe you wanted to add something. So here in the background, you see, for example, an installation of Dècora, of Smart Panels, sorry. It covered not completely the entire wall, so you can use profiles at the edges very easily. Otherwise, since it's a very thin panel, you can also decide not to use any profile. If you choose Smart Panel Double Face, Dècora Lux, or Dècora LED, you will have a bearing structure, light box, so you will have also the frame.
Perfect, thank you. Then we have a question from Thomas. Will the image quality be the same for very large installations as for standard feature walls?
Yes, this is a more commercial and design issue. I can tell you that our designs have a very, very high resolution. Also for precious stones, we get the stone, we scan it with very high resolution scanners. So we can also zoom a lot. So if you need also a continuous design for a very large wall, in many cases, we can do it in the majority of cases. So resolution is not an issue also for very, very big walls.
Thank you. Then we have another question. Mark asks, is there a protective coating that you recommend and that can be applied on vinyl wallpapers and natural wallpaper to improve their durability and to make it easier to clean them?
Okay, so usually we suggest the protective coating only for H2O wallpaper, but the same protective coating can be applied also on vinyl wallpapers. Why not? To improve the waterproofness of these wallpapers, to make them more durable, more easy to wash. So no problems, you can use the same protective coating as the waterproof wallpaper H2O.
Thanks. Then Emily has a question about Dècora LED. Can we install Dècora LED both vertically and horizontally?
Okay. So we will provide you with Dècora LED with anchoring bars. And of course, we have to design the layout of these bars depending on the panel, the weight, the design, and everything. So we need to make this layout for anchoring bars here during the design step, the design phase. So it's not possible to change by yourself autonomously the orientation of the panel. In case you need to have both possibilities, please ask us before, because maybe we can study a layout that could be could allow the installation both horizontally and vertically. In particular for Dècora LED panels, every time that you ask for a quotation, so for a specific project, I will give you a form to be filled in, and in this form there is also this question. So how do you want to install the panel, vertically or horizontally?
Thank you. Emily adds another question about Dècora LED. Is it easy to uninstall them from the wall and install them again in another room?
Dècora LED?
Yes.
Okay, I think that there are no problems, Pietro, because you simply take the panel off and you remove the metal bars and you fix in the same position to another wall, so no problems.
Perfect. Then we have some questions about the installation of decorative panels to cover, for example, counters or shelf. And I had another question about wallpapers, if we can install wallpapers on the ceiling.
Okay, so I start from the last one, wallpaper on a ceiling, no problems. But for using a smart panel as top cover, here again, the main issue is scratch resistant. Here, I think that the new panel we are developing we will be very helpful. So we know that scratch resistance is a very important point, so we are working hard on this. For the moment being, I would not recommend it because it is very, with top cover, the wear could be very, very frequent, and also the cleaning operations.
Thank you. Then we have a question that we know that is extremely frequently asked. Do you suggest any products from your range to be used outdoors?
Okay, outdoors, again, our designs are so beautiful that customers very frequently, they would like to use it outdoors, also for decoration. For the moment being, there are no problems about waterproofness. The problem is UV rays. So with a very frequent direct sunlight exposure, colors could slightly change. This is digital printing, UV technology, so colors could be affected with the passing of time. So for the moment being, we are focusing on interior decoration, but who knows, maybe in the future with new products, we know well that this could be a very interesting application also for our designs.
Perfect. We have the last question. It is from Jack. Concerning natural wallpaper, does a low emissions certified adhesive exist?
Okay, this is a very technical point. Pietro,
sorry, I think I missed the question.
Mi confermi che la carta natural ha comunque un sistema cioè completo che ha zero emissioni, giusto?
Sì, esatto. Exactly. We have an appropriate glue that is VOC certified, so it's the whole system has a zero emission rating.
Okay, so volatile organic compounds certified, no problems.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys. I come back with you.
Thank you, Pietro.
Thank you, everybody.
For your help.
Okay, so thank you very much, Cecilia and Pietro, for all these explanations and all these answers that were extremely useful. Before we close, just a couple of things very quickly. For those who haven't done it yet, I invite you again, as Sylvia did, to register to our download area. This is a special area. I can show it to you. Just a second. Can you see my screen?
No.
No, if you want, Chiara, I am showing the download area.
Okay, please. Something is not working, of course.
I think that attendees should be able to see it now.
Do you receive the notification, Susan? Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So this is our download area, and as Sylvia told you, this is a special area that we specifically create for professionals. In fact, you can freely register with your own username and password. Once you get in, you can freely download all these contents that are, for example, our complete catalog of graphics, so that you can download them and use them in your project. All our social videos, you can download them and share them on your social profiles. Then our latest catalogs and also all our technical files. Besides, there is another special area on our website that is the one dedicated to promotional materials. You can show us, thank you. It is a series of tools that can be extremely useful when designing a project. So these tools are designed to support architecture and interior design professionals while designing their projects. A perfect example is the trolley, which contains our catalogs and all the samples of our wallpaper and decorative panels finishes, included a Dècora LED with its own remote. So it is complete. Okay, so I'm done now. Thank you again, Silvia and Pietro, and many, many thanks to all the participants that joined us. Have a nice day, and thank you. Please don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and all the main social media platforms. And see you at the next webinar. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.